Right, a couple of things. Got some blue gloves now. Hell yeah, hopefully the bees don't rush for my hands every time I go into the hive. Thanks for that tip. And I need to add one of these to Flynn's hive. A super, honey super, add it to Flynn's. We need to also check the nuke, make sure the nuke's okay. We need to check Grandma and Granda's, see if they've got a queen, and then see how my one's getting on as well. Let's do it. Oh, and I was going to make new frames for Flynn's honey super, but I made these last year and they've just sat in this box the whole time. I didn't know at the time that you're meant to keep them in the cellophane packets before you add them. You make them when the hive's ready for them. But I didn't know that. Nobody tells you this. Well, they do once you make the mistake of making them before you need them. But nobody tells you before you make them that you shouldn't make them until you need to make them. Now, I did hear that if you have made them, you can revive them. The reason the bees don't like them if you make them beforehand is they dry out and they're not as nice to the bees apparently to use old and dried out frames. But supposedly what you can do is you can leave them in the sun, or you could, well, the technique I've heard was that you blow them with a hairdryer. Now you might notice I don't have a hairdryer here, but all its purpose of using a hairdryer is to heat up the wax and get it a bit melted, a little bit melted, not melted, but like more pliable and soft and glistening again. I was thinking, couldn't I just leave it in the sun? It's a very hot day here. Let's try that. You know what, I think these are so old and fusty. I might just make new ones. Let's see how they get on. I'll probably make new ones anyway. I might not be making new frames because I've only got brood frames. I really should have thought of that before I came here. Oh well. I might have to use them anyway. Well. Maybe just leave them out to get soft and malleable. Give them a brush. So now that they're dusted off, what I might do, I might keep them in this black box, because the frames that were pre-made that came out of that black box, they're all really soft and malleable, and it's probably because that black box is like a furnace. Because it's black, it's absorbing the heat, and it's a fair temperature inside there. This one was a little cooler, even though it's got a dark brown lid. It's a bit cooler. But yeah, I think I'll keep it in there and I'll inspect the other hives initially, and then by the time it's time to put this super on, and what I'll do is I'll do a little, not a full checkerboarding, but I'll mix some of the existing super frames from my hive. I'll mix it with these ones. That'll hopefully encourage Flynn's bees to come up and start storing honey in here. So even though they're a little dried out, I've cleaned them up a bit. A little bit of malleability from the heat of that box. Should be good to go. Let's give it a try. Actually, this box is a little bit, that'll do. It's a little bit narrower, so the super box doesn't actually fit unless I put it at an angle, which it is now. Let's keep that there, see how we get on. All right, inspection time. It's getting a little bit overgrown here. I might have to do some gardening. Whew. How are you, by the way? Hope you're having an enjoyable summer. The bees are, look at them. Having a great time. There aren't many coming out of here actually. Oh no, there's one going in. It's a very warm day today. It's about 22 degrees. 22 centigrade. I don't know what that is in freedom units, my guess would be probably about 120 Fahrenheit. It's a joke, by the way. It's nowhere near that. Maybe 80. I don't know. Right, let's get rid of some of this. Oopsie. Oh yes. More comb in the side, which is totally fine. Right, are they? Oh, they are. They're making use of this. Are they making use of this, however? Not so much. Deadbeat. So I might, wow, the forky tails. So many centipedes, or millipedes, whatever you call them. They're not really making use of that, but this, they're filling up with honey. And then this, they're using some of that. Now really all I care about is a queen. Is there a queen? These could have been the remainder of a swarm that didn't go with a queen. Is that a realistic possibility? No, there's eggs in here. Hell yeah! We've got eggy weggies. Wowzer. They're long eggs. Ooh. There's a, yeah, this is not good. Some of these eggs, some of these holes, these cells, are double egged. And there's a couple that are more than double egged. Now, from what I have heard, if bees are putting multiple eggs per cell, that's usually a sign of a laying worker, which means there isn't a queen here. A laying worker is not a good thing because workers can't be fertilized, and that means they can't lay worker bees. They only lay drones, and drones don't raise, well, you need worker bees because it's the worker bees that raise the young. It's the worker bees that forage. If there's no queen, there's no hope for this hat. Ooh. Oh no, that's what you say. Is this a queen right here? You can't see that. Right here. That's not a queen, surely. Yeah, if there's no queen, there's no hope. They're just going to die off because it'll only raise drones, and drones don't do anything other than mate with queens. They don't forage for honey or pollen. They don't help nurse the bees. They don't do anything useful other than mate with queens. I'll put it back in though. The fact that they're using that frame, that's decent, but the comb that they've put here, they've been filling it with pollen and honey. There's no eggs that I can see. I haven't capped any of it. And all these bees, they're not very happy, which is another potential sign of queenlessness, is angry bees. Angry bees. I'll just stick it back in and I'll just close it. Oh well, that might be a waste of a swarm. But I'll just leave it and I'll let it carry on. I'll see what they do. You never know, there could be a queen there. Maybe it's a new queen that doesn't quite know how to lay. Apparently sometimes they do that when they're just new, is they stick multiple eggs. They're just learning how to center the eggs. The fact there are eggs there, it's better than seeing nothing. Next up we have Grandma and Granda's hive. Now this one was doing very well, but then I suspected they had swarmed. And the following week I was double suspicious that they had swarmed. So it's probably not quite, if they have swarmed, it's probably not quite new queen hatched, mated and laying quite yet, but still lots of bees in there. Hello. But I'll still have a look. I'll still have a look if there is a queen in there laying. Oh, magic. Especially if it's the queen that we purchased. That'd be even better. Right, got a dummy board here. That's the one we stick to the side. Heavy frame full of honey, and they're capping this as well. That's incredible. Honey, honey, honey. Heavy frame full of honey and pollen, and they're starting to cap that as well. Heavy frame full of honey. Wow. Honey and pollen, and they're capping that as well. Heavy frame. Oh, capped brood and larva. Queen cell. Gosh darn it. Queen cell that they're taking care of. Capped brood. Lots of honey though. Larva. Yeah, there's queen cell. Just here. So much honey though. Another queen cell. Capped honey. Lots of honey. My goodness. Oh, more queen cells. Look at those ones. And drones. Queen cell, queen cell. These are swarm cells. So I think this one has definitely swarmed. If not, why would they be? Why would they though? So much space, my dudes. And there's some brood, capped brood on that side. Lots of capped brood. A swarm cell. 2 swarm cells. Geez, oh, how many swarm cells? So much capped brood though. On this side as well. Not as much on this side. Another swarm cell. Now I know that. See, swarm cell. Swarm cell. Swarm cell. Look at the capped brood. So much capped brood. Heaps of it. Now I know a lot of people knock off all the swarm cells, just take them down, get rid as soon as they see them. But what use is that? It's not going to stop them swarming. I think they already have swarmed. Some people leave all but one. Why would you have more than one swarm cell when you only need one queen? But what if the one that hatches wasn't the best one? What if I knock off a good swarm cell and leave a terrible one? This is just a fresh frame that they're drawing out nicely on this side, not so much on that side. And this one, they're not drawing out at all. Oh, a tiny amount. And this one, they've drawn out a reasonable amount. And yeah, filling it with honey. And they're filling that with honey, and they're capping it as well. Yeah, I'm of the opinion the bees know what they're doing more than I do. I mean, everyone does. But yeah, I don't think knocking off all of the queen cells, all but one, is the right idea. But what's that, like 6 swarm cells? That's crazy. Look how many bees as well. Is this a swarmed colony? Doesn't look like it. Looks quite populous to me. Putting stores back in there. Same. Still keeping an eye out for a queen. Capped brood. I can see on the other side, swarm cells at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on this frame alone. Lots of drone brood as well, which is another sign of swarming. Like, come on. It's the 9th of July. Why are you swarming? Capped brood. Some larvae in there as well. 1, 2. 2 swarm cells. 3. Capped brood, larva. Thing is though, I haven't seen any eggs. Not in here. That's why I think they've swarmed. Look at the drone brood. Come on. Plenty capped brood though, so there's plenty coming out of this. But there's going to be like a 2 to 3 week, what do you call it? Like an absence of a queen. 2 to 3 week absence of a queen due to how long it takes the queen to be born, to go out there and get mated, and then to come back and start laying. And then, well, when she does start laying, it takes 3 weeks for eggs to hatch. So, lots of larvae in there actually. See the pollen that they're storing. Yeah, lots of larvae. And this is just empty comb. One single, actually I remember that was a single larva. It's a single capped bit of brood now. I remember this frame from last week. It was a single larva, now it's a single capped bit of brood. This is empty as well. And that was not drawn out anyway. Not drawn out, emptied out, and emptied out. Putting some honey in there. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that this colony swarmed. They're doing so well. I'm just going to leave the swarm cells on because when this one has hatched, I think this one has hatched. And when I say this one, I mean this one right here. It's currently hollow or open. There's another 2 there. Let's see if I can get down and have a look. Yeah, it's open and empty. Lots of capped brood though. How many blooming swarm cells? So many. So many. It's like I gave them loads of space at the same time as Flynn's hive, but they haven't thought about swarming, although this was slightly stronger, I suppose. Gave them the extra brood box at the same time. Oh well, never mind. Swarms happen. I would love to know your opinion. How many swarm cells do you knock off? How many do you destroy? I mean, that's got to be, between both brood boxes, that's got to be between 10 and 12 swarm cells. That can't be good to have that many. Right. That is a heavy brood box, because they're filling it with honey. Well, I'll do my one next, and then Flynn's will be last. Well, that was a big whoopsie. I filmed that entire super in slow motion, so I'll have to look through the footage and just show you the relevant parts. Maybe with some music. Someone complained about the music last week. Maybe some music, maybe just my voice talking right now. Yeah, that's what we'll do. But yeah, they've been putting brood up in that super. I deliberately didn't put a queen excluder between this brood box, this single brood box, and the super. This brood box was not doing so well the past couple of weeks, and this was really stuck down actually. Let me clean some of this propolis off. This red stuff, they make this out of resin from trees. It's called propolis. It's just a little glue. I say a little glue, it's a really effective glue. They use it to stick things down, and they will stick loads of things down, even dead animals if they can't remove the dead animal. The bones of dead animals, I've heard, they will cover it in propolis because they can't remove it, just to cover it up. Just to cover it up, imagine. Right, you go back in. They'll fill gaps with propolis. So like if there's a breeze, or what would you call it? A draft, that's the word I'm looking for. Still some capped brood here. Filling that with honey. Some capped brood in the top right corner. Yeah, there's obviously so much honey going on that they're filling the brood frames with honey, and then the queens had to go upstairs to lay in the honey supers. Capped brood, beautiful. This is a relatively fresh frame as well. The next one, I see some what I think are emergency cells, which is no bueno, because they make those if the queen has died. Let's have a look. Ah, they're just play cups, just up here. Just play cups, that's not so bad then. Plenty capped brood. Now if they fill and seal those play cups, that's bad news. But the fact they're up at the top, it gave me a little pause for what they might have been for. Plenty capped brood here, beautiful. Larvae and honey. Oh, eggs as well, beautiful. Eggy weggies. Try to see if there's a queen. There should be a queen somewhere. Eggs and larvae in here as well. Beautiful. It's the afternoon as well. Don't know the exact time actually, but I remember last week saying, a reminder to self, never inspect during the afternoon. And here I am. The bee on my thumb. It's probably thinking, why are your hands covered in propolis and other sticky things that we made? The fact that I've seen eggs is good. There are no other signs of swarming. No signs of swarming. This is all good, although they're backfilling it with honey, but it's probably because she's laying upstairs as well. I'll just stick his back. This'll do for now. What I'll do, I will add the super to Flynn's hive. I'll add an extra couple of frames. I'll swap some of the frames from his super to this one. Oops, spider trying to get in there. Is it even a spider or is that a harvester? Is that one of those 7-legged ones? Right, it moved. And I'll go get his super. I'll just stick this on for now, just to keep the heat in. I'll be back. Hopefully these nice clean frames are soft and malleable for the bees. Now, I took a couple of frames from my hive, ones that have been drawn out and partially filled with honey. I will take a couple of frames out here and I'll stick them back into there, into my hive, and this should hopefully encourage the bees to come up and use these. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Right. Perfect. Hopefully that'll encourage Flynn's bees to come up into here, because they'll be like, hang on, there's honey up here. Should I use a queen excluder? I heard it's best to let them get started, then put the queen excluder. Would having honey up there count as them getting started? I'll get a queen excluder, that's what I'll do. And if they're not doing it, I'll remove it. Now I've already been here for ages. I'm not going to bother inspecting Flynn's. Flynn's was phenomenal last week. I am sure they still are. I mean, that's a bit of a risk, is it, to just assume that they're okay. Right, get them on top, stick those back in. Easy. Forky tails, how are you getting in there? Earwigs to you. In Scotland we call them forky tails because they've got a tail that's got a fork. I think the rest of the world calls them earwigs because there was once the idea that they went into your ears, and I don't know what they did there. Eat your brains, I don't know. Yeah, one of these things, let me show you. They really don't like being in the light. That thing right there. And there's another one here. Forky tails. Stick this super on. Oosh. That's on. Let's see if bees will come up. Yeah, bees do come up. Yeah, a few of them are coming up. Not many though. Yeah, they're definitely coming up through that queen excluder. That's good. So that'll just be honey. This, oh wow. You can go back on here. Nice. Nice one. A couple of bees are really not pleased with my presence, really, are they? Understandable. Right, Flynn has a super. Super. Nice.